Everyone. Good evening. It's wonderful to be here. Just want to thank God for waking me up this morning. It's truly a gift to be before you all, because every day is a celebration. It's a celebration. Everyone gets excited. During my remarks, I'd also like to begin, as the other speakers have echoed, honor the life and memory of Dr. Maya Angelou. She taught us how important it is for us to recognize and to celebrate our heroes and our heroes. And I also want to thank Senator Miller for giving me this opportunity to share my voice. I found that our greatest resources are our voice, our time, and each other. So this is really awesome. And as the youngest participant in the class, I'm truly honored and grateful to speak before you all. Now, I knew Senator Miller was a cool guy, but I didn't know he was ice cold as well. So a funny story, when I met Senator Miller and found out he was an Alpha, I immediately asked him what his nickname was. And you can ask him if you want to know, but when joining the fraternity, I was given the name Black Moses. And this is really important to me because it drives home my favorite value of freedom. I think freedom is so important, freedom from physical, mental, financial, social bondage, and freedom to really make our own choices. I was talking to my dad earlier, who's here with us, about how I always talk about choices. It's always a choice. And that's something I think my fellow classmates can always echo, is that we've made our choices and we have a whole lot of choices to make. And it's really just been an honor to learn alongside some of the greatest entrepreneurs, social workers, financial representatives, you name it, we have it in this class and in the alumni of the classes before us. So I'm really excited about getting a chance to make moves and really make ripples with everyone else. And also the chance to discuss results-oriented action and strategic positioning. This is huge. With active leaders, people who are passionate, who are community-oriented, and who are really committed to doing great things in the community. And like John mentioned, as soon as we were giving each other's contact information, I literally called every single person. That's how excited I was to really work with all these people. And then the floodgates of wisdom were just open, and we were inundated with life lessons. Just life lesson after life lesson from some of the greatest people in Columbus. I had to go through about 3 or 4 notepads, and it was ridiculous. And we had so many wonderful and impactful leaders speak to us, and I wish I could share with you what each one of them shared. And I see many of them in the crowd tonight, and I really appreciate you all. I just want to acknowledge everyone right now. Thank you. And my mind was blown leaving every session, because it really made us think. And everyone who knows me knows I just love to think. You know, I remember sitting outside with Peter after our visit to the State House. We just sat there for about an hour and a half just talking about, you know, this is us. This is our chance. And it's something that always resonates with me is, if not me, then who? And if not now, then when? If not here, then where? And this is something that was written on the Freedom Museum in Cincinnati. If any of you have been there, I saw that it's always just been burned into my mind. Now you're probably wondering, what did we learn? What really fired up Ms. Dawson and really charged us? So I just want to give you a little example of what we've learned. Senator Nina Turner taught us to reach forward and to reach back, to use our voice and our education to uplift our people, and to have a relentless warrior spirit in pursuit of something bigger than ourselves. Mr. John Waddy taught us that all we've got is ourselves and we don't have much. You know, it's all of us here gathering that makes it really powerful. And that if no one believes in us but us, then that's going to be all right. We have to at least start by believing in ourselves. We learned that we are rich in resources if we know how to mine them. Through our reading of a book called The Jewish Phenomenon, which I highly recommend everyone reads, we learned how powerful it is and how powerful we could be if we synergize our financial, our educational, and our human capital. Mark chapter 3 says that if a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house is divided against itself, even our families, then that house cannot stand. So we constantly talk about education and the importance of the family. And in the book, despite being just 2% of the population, Jews make up 1/3 of the multimillionaires in the country. 2%, and they make up 1/3 of the multimillionaires. I would say there's a lesson to be learned there. And that just shows us our potential. And we're talking about ceilings, that's pretty high up there. Pretty high up there in the space. Brother Cecil Jones taught us the difference between leadership and management. Managers do things right, and leaders do the right things. And Brother Adam Troy taught us about leveraging our collective resources, making value propositions. Not just proposing, but making value propositions based on common interests. and always knowing what you bring to the table. My Sunday school teacher taught a few weeks ago that when you know what you bring to the table, you're not afraid to eat alone. That was huge. Brother Troy also taught us the importance of monetizing our relationships. We know in the modern world, it does take some resources, the form of that's green, to get some things rolling. And anyone at Ohio State who has heard of Dr. Frank Hale knows that his famous quote is, "Commitment without cash is counterfeit." So we definitely talk about that. During my first visit to the State House, Mr. Ernest Sullivan and Ms. Olivia Johnson taught us about the power of mentorship, how to find them, how to be one, because everyone, no matter where you are in life, needs to mentor and needs to be mentored. We learned from Mr. James Ragland and Mr. Anim Walimu about the incredible power of education and how we can change the lives of billions of people for generations to come just by investing in and caring about our children today. And Ani also echoed the sentiments of Dr. Maya Angelou, that the more you know of your history, the more liberated you are. He really drove that home. Mr. Lonnie Miles, Ms. Trudy Bartley, and Ms. Angela Mingo shared with us their experiences and the importance of influence on community development. This is our community, we should have a role in shaping it. And we were also taught that we have to take care of ourselves. Dr. Porchabelle spoke about dental health, Dr. Kevin Dixon presented on mental health, and Ms. Angela Dawson truly challenged us to get real with ourselves. I think that session was pretty eye-opening for some people, that we must address and conquer our deepest fears and our darkest of secrets if we hope to ascend to the upper echelons of leadership. Because we know that we can't hope to implement the wisdom we've gained if we haven't readied ourselves to receive it. We have to be ready to learn. And we must ask ourselves every day, am I the person that I can be proud of when I look in the mirror? Every day when I look in the mirror, am I proud of who I see? And in the words of Marianne Williamson in her book, A Return to Love, as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence, just being around it automatically liberates others. And I really took that to heart. Let it shine. Let your light shine. Don't be ashamed. Mr. Alex Shoemake showed us how important it is to surround ourselves with the kind of people who dream big and follow through. That's the important part. As an Eagle Scout, I know that eagles don't hang out with chickens because chickens can't fly. And I can't even begin to touch on the millions, it seems, of leadership lessons instilled in us by Senator Ray Miller and Senator Charlie Tavares, who visited us several times. From then on, I learned that one of the greatest resources of wisdom is the Bible. I've started what I call Bible 90X, and my plan is to finish reading cover to cover by the end of July. Because there's really no need to reinvent the wheel. And a resounding message heard was just like Moses. Sometimes you have to step out and lead, even though you don't think you're ready. Tim. Although you don't know that Tim Johnson has already secured 20 votes for his run for president. Senator Miller also taught us to stop sleepwalking through life and to pursue our professional passions. T.D. Jakes said that the closer you get to the heart, the louder the heartbeat. What keeps you up at night? What gets you really excited? And that's what you should pursue. And I know personally that the longer you ignore the signs and messages, the louder it gets. We have to hold each other accountable. That's something we definitely learned through our group discussions and just through our class discussions, is holding each other accountable. We know what we need to do, but now is the time to do it. We know that if you knew better, you would do better. Now it's time to do better. Galatians 6:7 says that you reap what you sow. We have to do something with our 1, 2, and 5 talents. And that we spend so much time planning, but not enough time planting. That's huge. And the subtle difference between the two is the T. The T is time. Because it takes time to see the fruits of our labor blossom, but we have to start planting the seeds now. And there are millions of seeds that have been planted among these leaders right here, and I'm very proud to be amongst them. And through it all, we really became a family. Through the laughs, the disagreements, the group projects, the feedback, the group chat, you're welcome, we became a family. And this is indeed a celebration of family reunion. I'm going to start singing the OJs. And I want to acknowledge and thank my family and extended family who came to celebrate today. You know, my dad came all the way from Dallas, Texas. That's awesome. And I really want to close with something that he's told thousands of people and that I've heard my entire life. That with God in your life and faith in yourself, you can expect and achieve your goals, no matter what you do. Let's shine, everyone. Thank you.